Welcome to Less Than 12 Parsecs, the fastest Star Wars podcast in the galaxy. Now here's your host, Tim McMahon.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
Hey, it's Tim. I'm going to use today's episode as a personal therapy session, if you will. So please, feel free to play along. Grab a notepad, a pencil, put on your best Sigmund Freud impression, relax, sit back, and, listen to me vent here for a moment. And then when we're done, I want to know what you guys think. All right, so Celebration is 2 weeks away, 13 days and some hours. And every time Star Wars Celebration rolls around, I say to myself, when the tickets are going on sale, nope, not gonna go. Not gonna do it. Not going. It's too much money, and I don't like conventions, and blah humbug. And it's true, I don't like conventions. I don't like standing in line. I don't like massive crowds. I always feel like you're gonna miss out if you decide to go to presentation A. Something better is gonna happen at presentation B. It's just, it's too much stress. And honestly, I feel good about that decision when I make it when tickets are on sale. But then, every time we reach this point where we're just weeks and days away, then I start kicking myself and I start regretting not going. And why do I do this to myself? You know, all that stuff I said about conventions is true. I don't like conventions. I don't go to them very often. As a member of the 501st, our group is always at conventions, and there's one, it seems like every other weekend somewhere in New England where our guys are, and they're doing great things and having fun, but it's just not for me, so I don't go. But this is different. This isn't some little mini Comic-Con in some tiny backwater town. This is Star Wars. This is Star Wars Celebration. This is the gathering of the family, you know? And so it bothers me that I'm not going. And it bothers me that I decide every time not to go. And it bothers me that I know I'm going to get to this point every time, and I do get to this point. I keep telling myself I'm going to go to Star Wars Celebration in 2019, and yeah, I'm going to do it. I think that's the only way to get over this hump of mine, to get past this block I have, is just to go. But beyond that, I don't know. I might change my mind when tickets go on sale in 2019 and might put myself through this again. As a side note, if Star Wars Celebration 2019 ends up being in Japan, that might be a little out of my budget. You always see those badges or patches people make up every time that says too poor for Celebration. That could be me easily if it ends up being somewhere international that's just way out of my budget. Okay, but that point aside, I think I need to focus on why I want to go to Celebration. And why I want to go is not to stand in line, which I know you can, not to deal with the crowds, which I'll end up hating anyway, and not to go to the awesome presentations, and they always are awesome. But I want to go to meet people, to meet other fans who I've only met online who are going to be there, to meet people who've maybe heard this show, to meet people who haven't heard the show and turn them on to it. So I think I need to focus on that. To sum it all up, there's a bit of dialogue in the movie Clerks by Kevin Smith that's stuck in my head. Here, have a listen.
You hate people, but I love gatherings. Isn't it ironic?
Okay, I think that kind of sums me up in a weird way. Like, I decide not to go because I hate people, but then I kick myself for not going because I love the gatherings. And that's what I want to do. I want to gather. I want to meet up with people. I want to make new friends. It's weird. Anyway, I'm just babbling. I just had to get this out. This is all unscripted. You can probably tell that. It's just something that's been eating at me for the last week or so. So anyway, what do you guys think? Why do I do this to myself? That's what I want to know. How can I get over it other than my plan to just go? And if you have any other insights into my psyche that I'm not seeing from where I'm sitting, please, I want to know. I know I end every podcast with that, where I say, hey, what's your opinion? I want to know. This time, I'm serious. I want to know. Please email me at 12parsekspodcast@gmail.com or connect with me on any of my social media accounts. All the links can be found on my website, 12parsekspodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and thanks for analyzing me. Utini!
I have a bad feeling about this.
You've been listening to Less Than 12 Parsecs, the fastest Star Wars podcast in the galaxy, part of the expanded Fandomverse network of shows. For links and show notes, visit our website, 12parsekpodcast.com. Follow Less Than 12 Parsecs on Twitter at 12parpod, on Instagram at 12parsekspodcast, on Tumblr at 12parsekspodcast, and find us on Facebook as well. And please let us know what you think. Email us at 12parsekspodcast@gmail.com.